What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a late night edition of Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Let me get a couple things fixed behind the scenes for you guys. Hang on. 1 second here. All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Hopefully the stream holds up. I've only gone live from home a couple of times, but there's just too much going on to not go live, to not talk, to not discuss what's going on with the Chicago Bears. Dalman Retires, Maxx Crosby, trade rumors flying all over the place. We're going to talk about it all. We'll take your questions. And appreciate everybody for being here. Got almost 400 people watching live. Couple super chats flying in. We will get to those. Busy a few days ahead. We got free agency Monday. And I just, you know what? I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait to talk more Bears football. So we are here having a good time. Let's have a good night and talk some Bears football. So you guys let me know in the chat. Do you want to do some Q&A, some super chat stuff first, or do we want to talk about the latest first? What's the chat feeling like? What do we want to do first? Do we want to talk about the news of the day? Let's talk about the news of the day, the Crosby stuff, and then we'll work in some questions. So if you super chat, let me make sure the super chat function is still working. Make sure that's up and running. Okay, I think we're okay there. Let me see. Yeah, I see him coming in. I think we're gonna be good. All right, let's get to all of that then. We'll start there. And by the way, go check out the merch. I'll actually just hit that, or I'll show the new merch here in a little teaser for you guys. But chatsports.com/Bears shop. All the Bears Now merch can be found right there. A link is in the chat. You got the Iceman, the FGB, the St. Patty's gear. Go get it all. Chatsports.com/Bear shop. Couple new items in there too. We'll tell you about it as we go. Okay, let's hit the news of the day. Obviously, unless you've been under a rock for the last 7 hours, 6 hours, however long it's been, Dalman surprisingly retired. I had not heard anything of this. I think the Bears kept this under wraps. I was told later that the Bears thought this could happen last week, and they tried to work it out maybe where he'd play another year, but I don't know the specifics on that. But regardless, he is retired, and the Bears need a center, which obviously isn't ideal. As 5 or 6 hours have passed, you take a deep breath. I don't think this is a crippling situation. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a big loss. It's a big loss, especially for a team that for years has not been able to figure out the center position. Here's why I think it's different this time. Number one, Ben Johnson's here, and he knows what the hell he's doing with offense. You've got a hell of a good offensive line coach in Dan Rochar. I trust that they're going to be able to figure this out. And number two, you do get $10 million in salary cap relief. You can use that to help plug this hole. And we're going to talk about some different options here, but it sounds like the Bears will poke around at some different players. They could look to the draft as well. I would prefer a veteran. I think Chris Emma reported the Bears would prefer a veteran in this spot. I would agree with that. A guy who's been there, a guy who can do a lot of the pre-snap communication stuff. It just makes the job easier on your young quarterback. Obviously, you're wanting Caleb to take even more ownership of that stuff next year, but I still think having a guy who you trust to do some of those things is going to be a very, very good thing if you are the Chicago Bears. So we'll see who they get. A name that was thrown out there by Albert Breer, Tyler Linderbaum, who's one of the top overall free agents available, just 25 years old, former first-round pick. It sounds like the Ravens are trying to keep him, but he's going to test the open market. I've seen reports he wants up to $25 million per year. I think his floor is going to be resetting the market. Creed Humphrey makes $18 a year, so I'm guessing he's going to touch $20. I tweeted this out, and I stand by it. I don't think I don't want to go the $20+ million route with Tyler Linderbaum. Now, if they do it, look, if the worst outcome here is you overpay for a really good center, like, okay, like, I won't be devastated by it, but I just think you have a lot of holes or a lot of positions to attack this offseason. You give Tyler Linderbaum $20 to $25 million per year, even if you backload that deal and keep the cap hit in year one down. I just think, I don't know if it makes sense from a roster construction standpoint. Both your guards are making $17 million a year. Darnell Wright is about to sign a contract north of $25 million per year. You still need to add at least competition at left tackle, and that's before you get to the defense. So do you want to give Tyler Linderbaum $20 to $25 million per year? Like, I'm not saying don't poke around and see what it costs, but to me, I don't know if that's the best use of your resources. And I saw on Twitter, like, you want to go bargain hunting after 68 sacks? You want to go back to that? I'm like, I don't think Caleb Williams is going to go back to 68 sacks if you go from Drew Dalman to, like, Tyler Biadasz. Like, by the way, part of last offseason was signing Joe Thuney, signing Jonah Jackson, hiring Ben Johnson and Dan Rochar, and Caleb just taking steps forward as a player. Like, he's not always going to have a perfect offensive line throughout his career. Yeah, it sucks Drew Dalman's retiring 1 year into this deal, but, that happens sometimes in the NFL. Tyler Biadasz is a good player. He has started in the NFL for 6 years, 4 with Dallas, 2 with Washington. I thought it was a surprise cut when the Commanders released him, and I was not surprised to see that the Bears are bringing him in for a visit. And here's another reason why it would be nice if they went this route. Number one, you're not going to have to break the bank. I think you're probably on the low end, $6 million per year, high end, $10 million. Maybe it's a little more, but I don't think it would be much more than that. Probably a 1 or 2 year type of deal. You could go 2 years because Thuney and Jackson got 2 years left. I wouldn't mind that with an out after the first year. Then you've got kind of all three of those guys lined up on a similar timeline. If you could get him 2 years, $16 million with 10 guaranteed or something like that, like I would be on board with that for Tyler Biadasz. He's probably actually a tick better than Drew Dalman in pass protection. Now, Drew Dalman at the line of scrimmage is elite. Drew Dalman is probably better as a run blocker, but Tyler Biadasz is solid all around. He also makes a lot of the checks at the line of scrimmage. He's done it as a 6-year starter. He was Jaden Daniels' center his rookie year when he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So if you can get Tyler Biadasz at a reasonable price or someone like Connor McGovern, I think I'd rather go that route. If you can get Biadasz for $8 million a year, you actually save money overall going from Drew Dalman to Tyler Biadasz. Now, I'd rather Drew Dalman still be playing, but he's not. And this is a business. You got to turn the page. I wish Drew Dalman well. I think the people on Twitter who are going after him, like, this is a crime that he retired. Guys, he's forfeiting his salary. He might get like a small bonus, but even the Bears could recoup that if they wanted to. The majority of it, I think there might be $1 or $2 million that they can't. Like, these guys take a beating every single game that they play in. Like, I've worked with a guy that was an NFL player in the 1990s. He played guard for like 13 years. He can barely walk. I don't blame Drew Dalman for saying, you know what? I've made like $20 million in the NFL. I'm done. I'm just going to walk away. And look, that's his decision. These people, and if there's people in the chat who have done this, I'm sorry, but like, touch some grass. Like, these are people's lives. If they don't, and I'll say this too, I don't want a player on my team that's halfway in. What did Bill Parcells used to say? If you're thinking about retirement, you're already retired. Like, this is not a sport. You're either in or you're out. And so he's out. And now you got to replace him. And I think there's enough good options out there where the Bears are going to be able to get someone. And clearly they're being proactive to get Biadasz in the building and see, do a medical checkup there. I think he's still only 28 years old. So I would be absolutely on board with this. And, again, Tyler Linderbaum's an awesome player. If that's what they end up doing, I'm not going to be devastated by it. I mean, he's a good player. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to make any player the highest paid center in the NFL. That's what was actually nice about Dalman is he took a little less money to come here. 14 a year was not too bad. It was still on the higher end among guys in the league, but there were reports he got offered 16, 17. He wanted to play in this scheme, and 1 year in, he's done. And as the year went on, if I remember correctly, he was popping up on that injury report late in the year. He might just be like, dude, this sport is so physically taxing. I'm done with it. And I don't blame these guys when they do that. So it is what it is, and I wish him well. Okay, let's talk about the Crosby stuff, and then we'll get into some super chats. I don't know how long I'll be live. I've been home with my sick son, PJ, today. He's actually doing a lot better today. I would say today he probably could have gone to daycare, but he still wasn't quite 100%. Had pretty bad strep throat over the weekend, so we held him home, and I stayed here. Yeah, so I might have to get off. I mean, I will have to get off at a certain point, but we'll see how it's going with my wife and son. If he's not going to bed, I may have to go help with that here in a little bit, but I should be able to stay alive at least till 10 o'clock, so we'll kick it for a little bit. Okay, Maxx Crosby. Whirlwind of a day on Bears Twitter, right? I would say from about 9 a.m. until about 1 p.m., it was like, oh my God, are they going to get Maxx Crosby? The betting odds, and again, and I'll add this disclaimer, betting odds for players, coaching hires, all that stuff, like, it's not necessarily an indicator of what's actually happening. A lot of it can be a response to the market. Like if some Bears fan threw $10 million on Maxx Crosby getting traded to the Raiders, they're going to shift the odds significantly to protect themselves. Well, it went from plus 600 to plus 200 to minus 135 to minus 145 on DraftKings in a matter of like 3 hours. So it was like, what is going on? Even if they're getting a ton of influx of bets here, like that is a dramatic shift. And sometimes Vegas will hear something. Like one of their bookies will get a tip from an agent or something like that, and they'll shift their lines because of it. Now, again, nothing's happened. It's been 6-7 hours, so I don't know where things sit now, but that was pretty hectic. And, I've heard things behind the scenes throughout this process and about the Bears' interest and, where things set. Here's what I'll say. Here's what I can't say. This is a very fluid situation. I can say, without giving away too much, that there is a level of interest with the Bears from the Bears standpoint. And I also think it's one of those situations where the Bears have a price and they're probably not going to top it. And these negotiations go back and forth, and eventually the Bears will reach a stopping point and they'll say no mas. And if the Raiders find a better offer, if they want to keep them, they'll keep them. I know for a fact 2 other teams are involved. Dallas is one of those. That's been pretty well reported. And I think New England, well, Breer had his list of 7 teams, which included Baltimore, Buffalo, New England, the Rams, the Bears, Dallas, and I think Philly was the other team. I've also been told another team, I cannot reveal who that team is, but another team is in the mix. I don't know how good their chances are of getting him, but this is, I'll say this. I do think a trade is more likely than not. There's just way too much smoke around the situation. Insiders are talking about it. And by the way, a lot of them are predicting the Bears. Albert Breer said again today, yeah, I think Chicago makes a lot of sense. Tom Pelissero yesterday, yeah, I think Chicago. And then you had Benjamin Allbright, who's had some scoops in the past. He said this from Crosby's standpoint, that the Bears would be his preferred destination. So I think both the Bears and Crosby would like to make this happen, but John Spytek's got a job to do, and he's not going to. He's got a price too, and if the Bears don't meet it, he's going to ship him elsewhere, or he's going to keep Maxx Crosby. So I don't know where it sits right now. I stand by what I said last week. If he gets traded, I think it happens before Monday. I think it'll happen before the tampering period, because in other NFL news today, Trey Hendrickson did not get franchise tagged. He posted on social media a goodbye to Cincinnati, so he's hitting the open market. So a lot of these teams that are in on Crosby will probably pivot to Trey Hendrickson. Now, I do not believe the Bears are in on Hendrickson, based on what I've heard. And I saw again today, I can't remember if it was The Athletic or SI. It was one of those. They put out more contract projections. I saw 3 for 105 for Trey Hendrickson. That's 35 a year. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not playing that game with Trey Hendrickson. That's just too much money. I'm not doing 3 for 105. I might do 1 for 30, like a 1-year overpay, but I'm not doing 3 for 105, even if it's only 45 or 50 guaranteed. That's just too much, man. It's just too much. I see someone in the chat asking if the odds are still minus 145. I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know if that's still the case. So, I guess I could look it up. Let me see. Maxx Crosby next team odds. It was DraftKings who had this earlier. Let's see if it's updated. It's minus 135 Bears, plus 165 Raiders. So it shifted back a little bit, but the Bears are still the favorite there. Dallas plus 1,200, Buffalo plus 1,200, Tampa plus 1,300. I've heard that's another team I've heard is a possibility. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes, and we'll go from there. We will go from there. Guys, I'm not. It's not deep dark secret. It's just another team. I think it was. You know what? I think it was actually Tampa. So there you go. I just said it. So there you go. We know Crosby is going to have suitors. I wouldn't overreact to, like, I'm not trying to, like, play, like, mysterious guy here, but, Thank you, Al. Okay, you guys want to do some super chats? Let's do some super chats. 1 sec here. Get set up. All right, let's see. All right. Shout out to Alex for saying congrats on your Horned Frogs, Harrison. Hopefully we get center figured out soon. Yeah. He's talking about TCU basketball. I think we've won 7 out of 8. Beat Texas Tech on the road tonight. Should be in the NCAA tournament now. We were on the right side of the bubble tonight and just beat a top 10 team. So should be in. March Madness is a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do a Bears Now March Madness pool. You guys be in on that? It'd be kind of fun. We've never done that. If enough people want to do it, I'd be down to do it. Appreciate the super chat, though. Poppy Chulo Sit says, let's go! Appreciate the super chat. Harrison's new cribs. That's not my house. That's signed Tyler Badass. I like Tyler Biadasz. People on Bears Twitter were acting like he's Sam Mustipher. Not trying to throw ricochets at Sam Mustipher, but Biadasz is a solid player. Solid player. All right, Daniel with the 10. Appreciate it. He said, since the sad news about Dalman, what do you think about trading for Jackson Powers Johnson from the Raiders with Maxx Crosby? What would a trade look like? What are your thoughts? It's an interesting thought. I have not thought about that. I liked him a lot coming out. He's had a weird 2 years. He was banged up some as a rookie. He seemed to fall out of favor with that Pete Carroll coaching staff, but kind of felt just like a weird situation. Talking to our Raiders guy, Mitchell Renz, it seems like he'll probably be a starter for them this year. I'd be open to it. I don't know what Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles' evals of him were when he was coming out, but I liked him coming out of Oregon. I will say that. All right, Dennis, trade Tremaine Edmonds and DJ, re-sign Kevin Byard, extend Darnell Wright, sign Tyler Biadasz, draft a center in the mid-rounds. Wouldn't be opposed to that either. 1-2-year deal for Biadasz, draft a center in like the 4th round. I'd be cool with that. Trade for Max or sign Trey. Draft linebacker, safety, defensive tackle. Which drew the best will be fine. Yeah, I think a lot of those darts you're throwing, they're going to certainly do some of those. I saw David Kaplan said this morning that it's 70-30 that Kevin Byard will return. So we'll see. He said they're trying to work out a deal. I had heard that Kevin Byard's asking price was higher than the Bears expected. So, I'm sure they're trying to work that out as we get closer to free agency. They might let him hit the market and just see what the market says. Poppy Chulo sits, needed an updated dream offseason. Well, one thing we're going to do is I'll do a longer video tomorrow morning on Drew Dalman replacements. I just hit on Linderbaum and Biadasz, but I'll dive into some other guys, and we'll get into that. So plenty of content to come. Don't worry. Jamie, thoughts on trying somebody like Luke Newman at center? Oh, way too risky. I think you can continue to develop him, but I think you need at minimum, like a bridge vet. I'm not ready to turn the keys to Luke Newman. I think that's risky. Tyler Biadasz, I don't think it's that risky. I think he's a solid player, but just say, hey, 6th round pick from last year, Luke Newman, here you go. That would be risky. All right, Andres, barring a Linderbaum signing, this definitely cripples the offensive line ceiling. Getting a guy like Biadasz who could play at a top 10 level for a center would make sure the O-line ceiling is still top 10 if the right buttons are pushed. Yeah, I mean, look, if you get Biadasz, he's a somewhere between like the 9th and 15th best center. He's a top half of the league center. He's not great, but he's solid. So you get him in here, probably a slight downgrade overall, but not a major one. And you expect Darnell Wright to continue to ascend. Joe Tooney's still playing at a high level. Jonah Jackson should still continue to play at a high level. And then you got to figure out left tackle. So, if your O-line is close to what it was last year, even if it's 10% worse overall, I still think that's a really good group. Caleb should take a step forward. So I think it's going to be all right. Okay, Caden Turner had a weird feeling we'd get Crosby news today, but there's always tomorrow. Just had a feeling it would happen for some reason, maybe brainwash. It did feel like there was going to be some action, but that has not happened. So I do think there's calls being had with the Raiders and other teams, including the Bears. And, the Raiders, I think they probably have a soft deadline of sometime next week, but they're going to try and squeeze out every ounce of an offer that they can. So we'll see what happens. Frankie Chicago, do we trust in Ryan Bates? I think he's done. He's set to be a free agent. I think his knees are shot. So I think I don't expect him back. His career's probably over. Harrison's new crib. Let's go back to the Mac. Yeah, I think that's going to be a fallback option. If they don't pull this Crosby thing off, if they decide it's not worth what the Raiders are asking, or if some team just outbids them, I don't think they'll go Trey Hendrickson. I think they'll go Khalil Mack and probably throw some money at like a safety or something like that. So I would not expect Trey Hendrickson, but I do think Khalil Mack is in play. Michael Frazier, thanks for the night stream, bro. You got it, man. You got it. I like doing it. Do it when I can. Obviously, bringing content during the day all the time, but try to mix these in from time to time. Mike Witt, hey chat, Packers fan here, but love your content, Harrison. Have a prediction for next week. Packers replace Willis as their backup with Justin Fields after he gets released by the Jets. I could see that. I could also see them trading for Anthony Richardson and trying to do what they did with Malik Willis. Trade low, develop him behind the scenes. I wouldn't be shocked by that. I'm not sure how salvageable Justin is as a passer at this point, but he'll land somewhere. Appreciate the support, even though you are a Packers fan. And chat, you know what to do. Get the FGBs going for my guy Mike Witt. Okay, we already hit this again from Michael. Buck Melanoma, appreciate the 5. Out of the teams gunning for Crosby, who has the most assets and who is most willing to overpay? It's hard to say, right? I mean, would the Rams give up both their firsts for him, 13 and 29, just say, hey, 2 ones, here you go. 2-1, maybe 2 ones in a player? I could see Les Snead doing it. If any team's going to give up 2 ones, I could see it being the Rams. And that offer would be pretty strong for the Raiders. You're sending them to an NFC team. One of their first-round picks is in the top 15. Like, it's pretty good. That's a pretty good offer. So I'm not sure the Bears could match that one, because they're the only team among the teams mentioned that could trade for him that has a high pick. They have the 13th pick. Think about all the other teams. Bills, 26. I guess the Ravens have 14, so they're the other team. But, the Patriots, 31. Who else? Dallas has 12, so they could offer 12. But a lot of these other teams are in the 20s. Even Tampa's in, the mid-late teens. So it's the Bears they're a little behind from that standpoint, which is why I would be like, hey man, do you want DJ Moore and Tremaine Edmonds? Take them both. Big Mac, I'm a big IU fan. I hope we take Coogan in the draft for now. Yeah, I mean, I would like him as like a backup center. I don't think you would want to hand the keys to a day 3 center immediately, but like I think he's got a chance to develop into a starter. I like the kid out of Iowa too, so I do think drafting a guy on the high side, 3rd round, but on the low side, like 5th round, I think the Bears could absolutely be doing that now. Jason Morse, $5. Do you think Las Vegas could do what Poles did with Justin Fields, take less to send him where he wants to go, maybe Chicago? I mean, it's just not the same, right? I mean, Maxx Crosby's a star player. Justin Fields was a talented guy, but the league knew the Bears were trading him. I mean, sure, could they trade him to the Bears and take like, I don't know, a 1st and a 3rd in a player instead of a 1st and a 2nd in a player and just do right by Max? They could do that, but it's not like you're going to get some major discount. I don't think that's going to be very likely here. Okay, Caden Turner, do we know when this Biadasz visit is? I have not seen clarification on that. I don't know if it was today. I don't know if it's going to be later on this week. I would assume it's soon, before free agency opens. Because you can sign him immediately. Since he was cut by another team, you can sign him, and it doesn't factor into the free agency comp pick formula game. That's another benefit of signing him if you feel like he's a good fit. All right, we got the boss man, James Yoder, Bears now to the max. I was actually going to message you if this happens. Got to get the shirts going. So I'll say this to the chat: if the Bears trade for Maxx Crosby, we will have some merch. I've been thinking about a couple ideas in my head. I'll probably run a couple of those by the merch team tomorrow. So buckle up. We will be doing more of that. Speaking of the merch, why don't we go ahead and flash some of the new merch here? Let me see here. Let me pull it up. All right. Look at this bad boy. Just the classic. Beers with kind of the Bears theme there, and you see the bear claw with the R and the S. I accidentally wrote the wrong text on the bottom here. I wrote shirt or hat for the shirt and shirt for the hat. So I'm going to get that changed behind the scenes in a moment, but I'll just show you guys. Same link, chatsports.com/Bears shop. And we got a pretty good deal going right now. You can get the hats right now for $5 off, limited time only. They're normally $29.99. You can get them for $24.99 right now. You can also get a $10 off deal if you buy a shirt and a hat at the same time. And the way it works, again, go to that link, chatsports.com/Bears shop. You'll see all the merch right there. The way it works is once you put both on your cart, it's going to automatically get you the $10 off. Or if you just put the hat on your cart, it's going to automatically get you the discount. So check it out. New merch. Obviously, you've still got the St. Patty's, still got the Iceman, the FGB, all that stuff. Go check it out. But the new beers drop, the hats, the t-shirts, pretty sweet. Go ahead and check them out. Owen, links in the chat. Go get it, man. That's okay, Mitty. It's not going to be for everyone. Not going to be for everyone. Mike Witt says, LOL, love that the rivalry is back. Caleb versus Love, going to be fun for the next decade. Hoping Micah is back for the first Bears game next year. Have a great offseason. I think I saw something like a month ago that he's shooting for like week 3. That seems very specific, but yeah, we'll see when the Bears play the Packers, obviously. We'll see when the Bears play the old Green Bay Packers. All right, keep firing in those super chats. We'll work those in. We'll get to some hashtag Bears folks as well. Use those hashtag Bears if you want to get a question answered. I don't know if I've seen a hashtag Bears yet in the chat. So let's see here. Yeah, I don't see any hashtag Bears questions. So if you can't super chat or don't want to, you can also use hashtag Bears. Get in that way. Got one more super coming in. Mike G. 3 lives in a row today and Thursday. If Max gets traded tomorrow, be 4 in a row. We were live yesterday. We go live every Monday. So, yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I might go live Sunday, too. We're off Friday, Saturday, although news will probably drop, so I'll probably be doing content from home. But we're going into the office the day before free agency because usually there's a lot of news, and might go live that day. So we'll keep it rolling, and we'll keep the content firing away for you guys. So appreciate you guys tuning in. I mean, we got how many people watching? Almost 1,000 here on a Saturday night. Let me just ask you, do you want Maxx Crosby, considering what the cost could be? Like, is that what you want? Y for yes, and for no in the chat. Y for yes, and for no in the chat. Did I say Saturday? I meant Sunday. Or are you just asking, like, what about Saturday? Probably won't go live Saturday unless they actually make a big move. Hit stick, yes. Anything says yes. A lot of yeses. Freak League, Timothy, Ice. We got, or Ice 8, it looks like. Mason. We got Tucson saying no. Aaron Wolf saying no. Hell yes from Soldier Bear. No, not worth the cost from Half Pint. F no from Aaron Wolf. Let's see who else we got. John Orticelli says yes. Yeah, we might go live Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. Several days away from now. Let's get to tomorrow first. If the price is right from Hector. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that price is. See what that price is. All right. Cooper also asks Luke Newman at center. I'd be shocked. I don't think if they turn to him, they know something we don't. And look, I liked what I saw out of him at guard when he played briefly that one game, but that's like a quarter stretch at guard. Like, there's so much more that goes into playing center. So I would opt with the veteran, personally. I would opt with a veteran. Mike G, I'll get your question on in a moment, but he says, shoot a prediction, first player to be signed in free agency. For the Bears or for any team? Because the worst kept secret seems to be John Franklin Myers to the Titans. I mean, I think Jermaine Johnson was tweeting at him, like, can't wait for next Wednesday, and added him, which is like the start of the league year. So seems like that's kind of a done deal at this point. But yeah, for the Bears, I don't know. I don't know. If they get Khalil Mack, I do think it'll be pretty quick. I could see that happening early. Trying to think who else. Maybe some like random linebacker. I could see like Leo Chenal. Like, I think that's a player they could be interested in. A couple people have linked the Bears to him. So something like that. Something like that. I could see it. All right, couple supers coming in. Got to wait for them to load, and I'll fire those on screen. Let's see here. This is Mike G. What do you guys think? Prediction for the Bears' first free agent signing. Someone says, do you have the Williams Jordan shirts for sale? Yes, we've got the Iceman gear. I can flash it real quick. Give me a sec. If I can find it. Let me see. I may have to do some scrolling. Yeah, here we go. It's down here. Chatsports.com/Iceman. I don't know if that link is still active, so still use the link in the chat to get to the overall merch. I'll get this all consolidated soon, so it's easier for you guys. But just from a visual perspective, we have the navy and white t-shirts, of course. I think the navy hoodie is just the best looking one. I've got the navy hoodie and the white tee, so that's what I went with. Chatsports.com/Bears shop. I don't think /Iceman is still active. You could try, but link in the chat works. Chatsports.com/Bears shop. You'll be all good to go there. And that shows you all the merch, by the way. You can just surf. Go check it out. Everything we've ever put out is available there. So go give it a look. Go give it a look. All right, Mike G. We answered that. What did you guys think? Oh, Trent Williams. If he gets cut, I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't think the Bears are in on Rasheed Walker. Aaron Donald. That'd be fun. That would be fun. Maurice Drake with the Drew retirement. I think center and O-line top priority now. Love Crosby, but hard to free up money to fix holes. Yeah, I mean, they've still got a lot of flexibility. I mean, DJ and Tremaine, if they move on from those two guys, that's north of $31 million. They are cap compliant now. They're like $1.5 million, $2 million in the green now. So if they do dump DJ and Tremaine, that clears up north of $30 million. And then you still could restructure plenty of guys. So they're in a good spot financially still, depending on the moves they want to make. So we'll see what happens. What about Sean Ryan? I'll look into him more. He's a lesser option, but he would be someone you could go get. Cooper, when will Tremaine be gone, or is a trade in place? I don't know. I haven't heard anything concrete there. I do think there's some trade interest. I don't know how strong it is, but I don't think he'll be here regardless. So if they don't find a trade, I think they'll cut him. They've got until really Wednesday to do that, assuming they're active somewhat in free agency, because they'll need that money to bring in guys. Burden 2020, what first, second round D-line fit the scheme the most? I think the guys in the first round, I think most of the defensive tackles would fit. I think Peter Woods, there's a history of Dennis Allen liking lighter defensive tackles. He also has the most pass rush upside, or pass rush. He's shown the most as a pass rusher among the first round guys. So I could see him being a guy they look into. A day two guy I really like is Denai Dennis Sutton out of Penn State. I mocked him to the Bears in my latest mock. It actually went out earlier today before the Dalman news, so feel free to go check that out after this live stream ends. Trying to think. Having a brain fog. Defensive linemen. First, second round guys. I can tell you, I think like a TJ Parker, a Zion Young, those would be the type of edges they would like bigger guys who can set the edge in the run game with some pass rush upside. So, a few names for you there. Harrison's new crib, Lloyd Cushenberry. I mean, he was terrible in Tennessee, but I'll probably mention him in the Dalman replacements video. Who knows? Maybe it was just a bad fit in Tennessee. Bears could look at him. He would also fit that bill of the Bear. Since he was cut, you could sign him A, before free agency, and B, wouldn't count in the comp pick formula equation. Eric, have the Bears sent an offer for Maxx? I don't know if they've literally sent an offer, but I do know they've engaged. Will they get him? I don't know. But I think it's pretty obvious they've engaged. I mean, just listen to the insiders. I mean, Breer's like, yeah, Bears make sense. Pelissero, yeah, Bears. Jeremy Fowler, yeah, Bears. So I think conversations have happened. I don't know where those sit right now, but I do think there's been discussions. Big Mac honestly forgot Maxx and Henderson, or forget Max. I think you mean forget Maxx and Hendrickson is who I assume you mean. Save our assets money. I'm perfectly fine with Maxx, Sweat, Booker rotation. Sit with still trade Tremaine and DJ to clear money. Sign Biadasz and Byard. Yeah, you could totally do something like that. Draft an edge on like day 2 to develop, and you got your group of 4 with those 3 guys plus the draft pick. Plus, you still have Shamar Turner and Dio Odengbo coming back, who, again, Dio didn't show much, and we'll see what Turner is, but they're still bodies, right? Once they're healthy, they can still rotate in, and they both have inside-out flex, so, like, they're not just nothing burgers. Like, I don't think I'd be shocked if Dio was here past this year, but if he could at least somewhat help you in 2026, it, be somewhat valuable. Be better than nothing. All right, we've got Aiden. No way should we give up on Crosby. Maybe pricey this year, but we have so much flexibility with Dio and Grady's contract next year plus restructures. It's a great point, too. If they traded for Crosby, they could restructure him this year. Like, let me pull this up real quick. Give me just a second. Pull up the Raiders over the cap. Highly recommend Over the Cap as a website. They're really good at kind of explaining how some of this stuff works. So now I don't know how much it will change if he's traded, but right now a max restructure for Maxx Crosby would save more than $21 million this year. So let's say it's at least 15 million for a team that trades him. If you restructure him and save 15 million this year, like, and his cap hits like 15 mil, you could still do a lot. I'm not saying they would do that, but they absolutely could. And to your point, if they cut Dio and Grady next year, even if Max has a big cap hit next year, they can afford that because those two guys will come off the books in all likelihood. So Bears have options. Kenneth Hunter, appreciate the 10. Monitoring the chat to see if you sent something afterward. Always feel free to ask a question when you super chat. Appreciate that. All right, by the way, I'll just kind of gauge the audience. So for those who have been with us for a while, day one of free agency, it's gotten kind of wild the last few years. For whatever reason, it's turned into like a super chat battle with Raiders. I don't know what'll happen this year, but we always do raffles. You guys let me know in the chat. If we do raffles, would you rather us raffle off some Bears Now merch or Bears jerseys? What would you rather do? Would you rather do a jersey or a merch raffle? Because the merch is all new. I think that would be cool. Plus, we could probably do more of it. But it's up to you guys. We could also do a combination. Maybe we would do one of each or a couple of each or something like that. What are you guys feeling? Mixture? Seeing kind of a mix in the chat. All right, we'll discuss it. We'll talk it over behind the scenes, but we'll figure something out. You guys bring the heat every year for free agency, so we'll have some. Hitstick makes a good point. We could do more merch. We could do multiple winners. So we'll see. I'll get with the higher ups at the office and a Dio jersey. Yeah, you don't want that. All right, we'll keep it rolling here. Let's see. We got Homero. Don't know if you have talked about it. Do you think center becomes a bigger need now? Rooting to sign that guy that got released by Washington. Oh, we've talked about it. And yes, we've talked about Tyler Biadasz. I would rather go that route with like a B minus level center than like break the bank for Tyler Linderbaum. And it sounds like he's going to clear $20 million per year easily. You might be able to get Tyler Biadasz for less than $10 million per year. And he's a solid player. So that would be the route I would go, but we'll see. We have talked about it. We're going to do a longer video on it tomorrow. Yeah, that's definitely something you gotta consider in free agency now is the center position. All right, Dennis, I see your super chat. We'll let it load in here. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We've been live for, let's see, how long we've been live for. It's not really telling me for some reason. Huh. Let me refresh here. Hang on. Usually it's got a little timer up there. Oh, there it is. It moved. 45 minutes. All right, we'll try to do at least an hour. We'll try to do 15 more minutes. If the supers got crazy, maybe we'll go longer. Okay, Dennis, thoughts on K9 hitting free agency, Kenneth Walker? Mildly surprised, not shocked. Look, I think John Schneider knows they're in this win now window. You got to make tough decisions, and I think he feels like he can find running backs running back production for cheaper elsewhere, so they'll probably draft a guy, might sign a cheaper option. Zach Charbonnet will be back, but he tore his ACL late in the year. Don't know when he'll be healthy, but they'll definitely add to that position. But yeah, I mean, that's, not often the Super Bowl MVP is on a different team the next year. So don't expect the Bears to get involved unless his price tag is cheaper than expected. But especially now with center freeing up, I think you probably just roll with your two backs that you got. And that's kind of just going to be it, is what I would guess. But speaking of Kenneth Walker, Andrew asks if the Bears should sign him. I would lean against it, but you never know. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We haven't boomed in a while. I've never done an at-home boom, and I don't want to wake my son up if he's asleep, but I'll boom here in a second. The Bears are in those new, I think the NFC North is one of the divisions this year that does like those rivalry jerseys. So I guess the Bears will have a new one this year, but it'll just be for one game, I think. Okay, Caden Turner, can you admit what the eye emoji tweet was today? It was not Dalman. It was Crosby stuff, but it's nothing that hasn't really been public at this point. I mean, we kind of know that they're interested in Crosby at this point. So it was something in that ballpark. Plus, I like to troll every once in a while. But I had actually heard something. I should have just quote tweeted it when the Dalman news happened, been like, yeah, it wasn't good news, but it wasn't Dalman. All right, here he is. Big Mac. All right. Let's bring the boom for Big Mac. It is Big Mac. Boom. He says if supers get crazy like this, that would qualify. Appreciate that, Big Mac. Appreciate that. That's good stuff, Big Mac. The first at-home live stream boom. So that's good stuff. That's awesome. Appreciate that. I mean, what are we at in soups? 267. We got to 500. Might do something. Might have some fun. I don't know if I have any beer in the house. Maybe I go chug a beer if we got some. I can go look. I can go take a look. All right, a few more supers coming in. Appreciate that, Big Mac. I need to get a new helmet, by the way, for the off season for the Boom Club members. So I'll try to do that, and you'll obviously be on there. So appreciate that. All right, waiting for some new super chats. We need a new tour of the homestead. Might do that at some point. Joseph Brown says, appreciate the two, by the way. Says, should the Bears try and sign Bobby Okereke? He's kind of slowed down. I don't know if that really checks the box of we need to get faster, which is what Poles was talking about at the Combine in terms of the Bears defense. So I would say probably not. I would say probably no thanks on Bobby Okereke. Been a good player. He's a leader, but I'd probably be passing. Unless his price was just super cheap. Which, you never know. It is free agency. Sometimes things get weird. Okay, waiting for a couple more to load in here. I see Cooper. I see Omero. We'll get those in. Let's see. All right, here's Cooper. Is it weird that Byard hasn't re-signed? Well, talks. David Kaplan reported this morning that it's 70-30 from what he's hearing that Byard will be back. And remember, Byard does a podcast on his YouTube channel. So he's probably hearing that directly from Kevin Byard. He said a source close to the situation. I would guess that's Byard or his agent. I was told that his price tag or his asking price was higher than what the Bears initially expected. So I'm guessing that's where the 30% comes in. They're probably trying to work through that right now. So we'll see where it lands. But, trading for a guy like Max could impact if you bring back Kevin Byard. If you trade for Maxx Crosby, if Byard wants a pretty penny, you may not be able to pay him. So, that's just be one of those kind of, I love Kevin Byard, but they would probably pick Maxx Crosby over Kevin Byard if they're able to trade for him. So, okay, Homero, off topic. If there's a wide receiver I would like the Bears to draft next year if he's eligible, it's Malachi Toney from Miami. I think he was a true freshman, so I think he's 2 years away. That kid's incredible, man. He's got so much juice. I know people have made this comp with guys over the last several years, and it hasn't worked. He actually looks like Tyreek Hill, just in terms of you just can't tackle him. He's so fat. He's like a joystick. He's a special talent. So, yeah, he'd be fun to add to. He'd be perfect for a Ben Johnson offense. I'll tell you that. Okay, let me see here. Kenneth with a 2. Booker needs a defensive tackle to push in the middle. Yeah, I mean, in general, this team needs penetrators in the interior. I think they'll keep Gervon Dexter, and he provides some of that, but he's not very good against the run. Grady Jarrett is solid, but if you're banking on him being like a consistent, steady force at this stage in his career, you're probably not. You're probably going to be left underwhelmed, at least from a down-to-down standpoint. You need to add someone in there. Probably going to be in the draft because there's not a lot of options in free agency or on the trade market. Dexter Lawrence isn't available, it sounds like. Jeffrey Simmons isn't going anywhere. So probably going to have to go in the draft. And, if they trade for Maxx Crosby and they give up their first-round pick, then that limits your options. Probably have to use one of your day 2 picks on somebody, and hopefully you hit on someone who can at least contribute. So they got a lot of paths they can take in terms of, where they want to go with certain things. All right. See a couple more supers coming in from Alex and Dennis. Get to those momentarily. Sorry, just refreshing my phone real quick, making sure I haven't missed anything on the old Twitter. Let's see. Let's see. Let us see. A lot of subliminal messaging from people on Twitter. Oh, man. If you did just miss this, Benjamin Allbright tweeted back at someone saying, well, the Bears would be his preferred destination, talking about Maxx Crosby, if he got to pick, although I don't know how they'd make the economics work there. He also added Dallas offered at the trade deadline last year. He also thinks it's going to take multiple firsts and players. I feel confident in this. I do not expect the Bears to offer 2 ones. I'd be surprised. I don't think they'll offer 2 ones for Maxx Crosby. Could be wrong, but I don't think they will. Okay, Alex, think we need to draft a center alongside a stopgap vet. Yeah, that would probably be my preferred outcome. Sign a guy to like a 2-year deal. Draft a guy. If he's ready next year, cut the guy you just signed, and then cut the guy after this year, like heading into his second year. And then if he's not, you still got the veteran for another year, like a Biadasz type. Okay, Dennis, sign Velus Jones and Sam Mustipher. No, thank you. Good rage bait, though. Bomb, your own personal affections. 3-round picks. Personal affectation. I don't know what you're saying. Is that a typo, Bomb? What are you trying to say here? Don't know what you're saying. Don't know what you're saying. Follow up in the chat. I'll try to figure it out. Someone in the chat says thoughts on Grenard. I like Jonathan Grenard. I just don't think Minnesota would trade him in the division. I just don't see it. So, sounds like they want a day 2 pick. I would for sure give a third for him, maybe even a second, but I don't think Minnesota would trade him to the Bears. I would be shocked, but good player. He's given the Bears some issues. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. Okay, Zach Clark, DJ Tremaine, a first and a future third for Max. Overpay. I'd probably do that if you're probably just going to move. If you're trying to move on from DJ and Tremaine anyway, yeah. I'm in. I'd probably do that. Probably do that. Homero, again, appreciate the dono. If Byard does not resign and Brisker walks, do you just trade out of the first round to get more picks to address safety and all-around defense? I still think you're going to sign a safety somewhere. Cam Curl, Brian Cook, I think is a name we should pay attention to from the Chiefs. There's guys. There's always guys out there. What's going to happen with Minkah Fitzpatrick? I saw today he might just get cut. If he gets cut, I mean, I'm really interested at that point. So, yeah, they will get at least one safety in free agency. I will predict that. Don't know who, if it's not Kevin Byard, because I don't think it'll be Jaquan Brisker, but they will land a free agent safety somewhere. They will get one. All right, we are approaching the hour mark. I'll go a little last call, unless someone kind of wants to go crazy with Big Mac. If someone matches Big Mac, we'll extend it another 20 minutes or so. But last call here. Kind of run through some rapid fires in the chat. Why not just sign Trey? He's a free agent. If he's over $30 million a year, I'm not interested, and that's what it sounds like. Glasgow for center. He's not very good. Also, didn't he retire? I think he retired. Do you think our first this year, DJ Edmonds, and a fourth this year would get the Crosby trade done? I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. Minkah with the Bears, that's a trade offer. Yeah, I mean, but what if they don't get a trade offer and they're like, screw it, we'll just cut them. Yeah, I know Ragnar retired, but I think when they cut Glasgow the other day, he announced he retired too. Could be wrong. I thought I saw that though. Any intriguing corners in free agency? Alante Taylor, Dennis Allen connection. He's a solid player. Nickel outside hybrid, can play both. Obviously Nashawn Wright. Don't think the Bears are bringing him back though. I think there's a couple other guys. Caleb Elar-Absorbed out of TCU Fast Guy Day 3. I would love him in like the 5th round. Even if he fell to the 7th, even better. Yeah, he can run. He had a good year this year. Tested well at the combine. One of the fastest linebackers, sub 4.5. Any chatter about Connor McGovern? Online there has been. I think he's a guy the Bears would look into. We always have Zay. Yeah, I think Zay Frazier will be in the mix. Cam Taylor Britt. Yeah, you could sign him. Wouldn't mind him on a prove-it 1-year deal. Didn't have a great year this year. Who is the best left tackle available in your opinion? Rasheed Walker, if Trent Williams doesn't free up, but Rasheed Walker is going to get $20 million a year. So I don't think the Bears will be in on that. After him, it's probably like the Cam Robinsons of the world. Most you would give for Crosby. Probably a 1, a 3, and some kind of combination of DJ Moore and Tremaine Edmonds. If they want both, cool, take them both. It's probably the most I'd go. I'm not doing 2 1s, I don't think. I don't even really want to do a first and a second. I guess I would swallow my pride if that's what it ended up being, but 2 1s, it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot, man. Of course, if he got you the Super Bowl, you would do it, but there's no way of knowing that. All right, a couple more supers coming in. We'll hit these. Keep it rolling for a minute. Out of water. Chugging this thing. Just ice. I'll have to go fill this up here in a sec. Okay. Let's see if this loads in. Not yet. Big Mac, JV Racing, Michael. We'll get to you guys. Just crossed 300 in super chats. Appreciate that. Fun little Tuesday night. I'll be back in the office tomorrow filming some fresh content for you guys. All right, let's see if these load in. All right, here they come. Okay, Big Mac. What would the price difference have to be for you to take Brisker over Byard? I think I'd probably only go up to like 8-9 million per year for Brisker. I just don't think the Bears think he's a scheme fit. Dennis Allen likes guys who are very versatile and who can cover. Jaquan Brisker is very good in the box. He's physical. He's not great in coverage. And I know he was healthy this year. I give him a lot of credit for that, but he does have a history of injuries. So I just think it's one of those where unless his market really dries up, I just think he's going to sign elsewhere. And by the way, if you're Jaquan Brisker, you got to take top offer. With your injury history, like this is your chance to make life-changing money. So I just think it's the perfect storm where he's going to end up elsewhere. And it's a shame because we saw moments where he felt like a big-time player. That game against the Rams, he was unbelievable. But we just, you're almost left saying, like, why didn't we see that more? But it is what it is. I would give it about a 10% chance that he's back. JV Racing Viz just got here. Thoughts on Linderbaum? Like the player. Don't like him for more than $20 million per year. That's kind of where I land. If they do it, I'm not going to bitch too much because offensive line is critical. Bears fans should know that, but I think you can get adequate play with a guy like Tyler Biadasz. That's the direction I would prefer, assuming the price is significantly less than $10 million per year. So, yeah, I just think Tyler Linderbaum's going to have a bidding war, and I don't know if that's a bidding war I want to enter. But maybe the Bears feel differently. Okay, Michael with the 5. If you combine the Jets and Raiders roster, would they win the Super Bowl? No. They don't have a quarterback. I don't... Can I be real? I don't know if they make the playoffs. Especially last year's team. Maybe moving forward if Mendoza is just awesome, which that's hard to say for a rookie. But let's say, I'll just kind of off the top of my head go through their combined teams, and I'll give them Mendoza. Mendoza's the quarterback. You got Breece Hall and Ashton Genty. It's a good running back tandem. Jets have some good offensive linemen. Mimbo at right tackle. You'd go Colton Miller or Fashanu at left tackle between the Jets and Raiders. Interior's got some question marks for both teams. Vera Tucker, if he goes back to the Jets. Garrett Wilson's a good one. You would have, you don't have Jacoby Myers anymore. You got Brock Bowers. Neither defense is good. I mean, Crosby's a good player, but I don't know. I think at best you're like flirting with a wild card team. Just like mentally going through the team on my. Also, who's the coach? I guess I'd go Kubiak, but you either go Aaron Glenn as your head coach, who was an embarrassment last year and was falling asleep at the combine, or Clint Kubiak, who has done a nice job as an OC, but has never been a head coach before. So, yeah, it's a good hypothetical. They definitely don't win the Super Bowl. I'm not sure they even make the playoffs, which is kind of hard to fathom. Okay, Homero again. Would you give Luke Newman a shot at center? I would not. If he's my backup, great. I like him being a versatile backup who can play guard and center. I don't think you can hand him the keys to the center position. I would not do that. Cooper, Khalil Mack back, or does he stick with LA? Would love him. I do think it's probably those two teams. I know for a fact the Bears were interested last year, but the Chargers offered more. That's why he re-signed right before free agency. His agent knew what the Bears' offer was, and it wasn't going to match the Chargers. Chargers gave him 18. I think the Bears were going to give him like 12 or 14. We'll see a year later, a year older, what type of offers he gets. They also have Odafe Owe, so they may have to pick one and let the other go. So we'll see where he ends up going. But I would love him back. If they don't swing on the Maxx Crosby deal, I would love to bring back Khalil Mack on a one-year deal. He's year to year at this point, so see what happens. We will see what happens. All right. I think we're going to get out of here shortly. I'll kind of re-hit the news, and if any more supers come in, I'll hit those. Otherwise, we're going to get out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Obviously, Drew Dalman, in a pretty surprising move, decided to retire at 27. The Bears do get $10 million in salary cap relief this year, so they are cap compliant. They have like $1.5-2 million bucks available, which obviously is hardly anything. But as you guys know, if they cut or trade Tremaine Edmonds, that frees up 15 more. If they trade DJ Moore, that saves 16.5. If they restructure DJ Moore, they could save up to 16.8. There's a lot of other restructures they could do. They could extend Cole Kmet to free up some money. So they have a lot of paths to freeing up money to not only replace Dalman, but if they want to swing big for Maxx Crosby, which we'll talk about in a second, if they want to spend in free agency or make another trade. So the Bears have they have plenty of flexibility. A couple of names that have been linked to the Bears: Tyler Linderbaum. Albert Breer says the Bears have sniffed around the Ravens free agent center to be. Report saying he wants up to $25 million per year, which means he'll probably get at least 20. I think that's a little rich for my blood. I would rather go this path. Ian Rappaport reporting that the Bears are hosting veteran Tyler Biadasz, still only 28, 6-year starter. Played well in Washington the past 2 years. He was the center for Jaden Daniels' awesome rookie year. He was Dak Prescott center in Dallas for 4 years. Pretty good in pass pro, solid in the run game. Also can set the protections, do that stuff. I'm not saying he's as good as Drew Dalman, but I don't think he's like way worse either. Like I think Tyler Biadasz is a top 15 NFL center. So if you could get him on board at a reasonable price, I would definitely be with that. And then obviously the Maxx Crosby stuff. It's been flying around. Albert Breer said today, if he had to predict, he still thinks a trade happens for the Raiders and that he named Chicago as a destination that makes sense. Tom Pelissero yesterday mentioned the Bears. Benjamin Allbright said Maxx Crosby would like to go to Chicago, but it'll depend if the Bears are willing to make an offer that the Raiders will accept. And, other teams in the mix too. We know Dallas has interest. A few others also. Tampa could be in play. So we'll see. We shall see. That's where things sit. And that's where we'll leave things. One more super chat, it looks like. Brandon Goodrich. Then we'll get out of here unless more come in. Unless some more come in. Let me check one more thing while that super chat loads. One more thing. Let's see. All right, let's see. I'll read Brandon while we wait for it to load in. He says, I feel like if we sign Biadasz, the Crosby trade would still be good. You need great players to contend. Yeah, and you could still go after Crosby financially. You could make that work if you went the Biadasz route. It would be a lot tougher if you signed Tyler Linderbaum. So take that for what it's worth. There's Brandon there. Appreciate it, Brandon. Okay. Show you guys the merch one more time. And again, I got the text backwards here at the bottom, so disregard. But we got the Bears Now shirts and the hats. The beers, I should say. The new little beers theme there. You can rock these on St. Patty's. These are Bears Now specific ones and just Bears specific ones. You got the bear claw in there, the Bears theme. Go check it out. Chatsports.com/Bears shop. The hats, and again, I'll fix the text for next time we plug these on the show. Hats, you can get $5 off, limited time only. They're normally $29.99. You can get them for $24.99 for a limited time. And then if you get a shirt and a hat, you can get $10 off combined. So the shirts and the hats are both $29.99. So it's basically a $60 value, but you can get it for $50 if you get one of each. So if you want to rock a shirt, you want to rock a hat, get them together. That's the best value. When you put each into your shopping cart at chatsports.com/Bears shop, you will it'll automatically plug in the discount there. So check it out. We appreciate the love and the support as always. And thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Oh, one more shameless, or a couple more shameless plugs. The social media, trying to grow on social media. So you got the Twitter at HGramNFL. Still got to catch up on some DMs, especially on Instagram at HGramNFL. But I'm publishing on these or posting content on these platforms every day at HGramNFL on TikTok. I would greatly appreciate a follow over there. Trying to get that bad boy to 5,000 followers. And then Facebook. I know a lot of people still on the old Facebook. I created a page over there, facebook.com/HGramNFL, or just search Harrison Graham Chat Sports. You can find me there as well. And David is back with another super chat. So we'll fit one more in here, it looks like, and then we will sign off. But appreciate everybody for being here for well over an hour tonight. Well over an hour. Bear says, I'm deleting this account. Don't do that. Don't delete your account. Okay, David says, Harrison, what do you know? Is this the eye emoji earlier? I mentioned that earlier. I heard a little Crosby nugget, but if you guys have been paying attention on Twitter, I wouldn't say it's anything overly new. The Bears are interested. So are a lot of other teams. Sounds like Crosby's interested in the Bears. It also sounds like the Bears or the Raiders might still want 2 firsts and a player. Like, I'm not doing that for Crosby. He's 2 years older than Micah, and he had a knee surgery this offseason. It's just that's a lot to give up. I don't see the Bears doing that. So could be wrong, but I don't think the Bears will end up meeting that price tag. But we'll see what happens. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here. This was a lot of fun. I'll try to do some more of these nighttime streams. Kind of chilled, relax, answer some questions, talk about some of the hot topics, and then, call it a stream. Hour 15 tonight. Good stuff. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Harrison Graham. We will see you guys soon. Bear down.